Hey, this is Paul, and thanks for checking out our fruit review on G3. Now, G stands for Guatemalensis or Guatemalan number 3. In fact, there's G1, G2, and G3. Now, hopefully you watched our other video where we reviewed this G1 here. So let's focus on G3. It is also from, I believe, Quang, and it was given to California rare fruit growers, including Paul Thompson and Leo Manuel, very long ago. In fact, here, I met Quang and talked to him about it, and he actually showed me his original plants, which no longer exist, as you can see in the photo. So he sold the farm, he no longer has them, but luckily we have these G series. So some people even say that he originated American Beauty, but I currently, as I research that more, I do not agree with that. But regardless, you can see here it's weighing in at almost a pound, and it's slightly different color than G1. Now, we did have a heat wave, and this fruit was actually in a partial shade, so you can see it's got a different color. So depending on how much sunlight it hits the fruit, it can affect the color here. But I believe based off of all the indicators that this fruit is ripe. And look at that beauty. So really delicious fruit. It may actually look a little bit lighter in color than G1, but also I did pick this one a little sooner. You can see the skin's a little thicker than the G1. So regardless, I'm sure it's going to be a delicious fruit, and let's see how sweet it is. So let's test a sample of this fruit. Now these tend to be my favorite varieties. They will Brix anywhere around 15 to into the 20s, low 20s. The sweetest one I've ever had was Leo's eBay Self-Fertile, and that Brixed at 21.1, I believe. But they probably can even get sweeter. So you can see 17 1/10, which is a very respectable score, and that means it's probably going to be really sweet with a nice balance of acidity. So let's go for it. These Guatemalensis tend to be my favorite varieties to eat. Oh wow, absolutely delicious. I was a little worried with the heat wave that the texture would be a little mushy. And I think I detect some a little bit at the bottom here, which I don't like. So it does look like G1 will break down a little bit, but it's very, very minimal. Yeah, I can taste the difference. So that's interesting. Some of the varieties, usually it's undatus traits where the fruit will break down in a heat wave, depending on the time that it's ripening and how much sunlight and UV hits it. But this one's a little broken down. And it's interesting, it's only on that one side in here. I don't know if you could see it in the camera, but it's definitely more mushy and gelatinous. And that's really my least favorite quality. Not gelatinous at all on this side. So it could be a fluke, or honestly what I probably did, thinking about it, is I filled up a bucket full of fruit that was ripe, and I left the fruit in the bucket for a few hours, so I would guess this got smushed. It probably had some weight on it. That would make more sense. But either way, it's slightly damaged on the outer here. Hopefully you could see that, versus this one that's not. So I don't think that's heat temperature breakdown. That is definitely just, it got smushed. So as you can see, treat your dragon fruit right. Don't smush them, otherwise it affects the flavor. Or I should say the texture. Flavors are delicious. This is easily one of the most memorable fruit I've enjoyed this season. It does taste slightly better than this G1, but I think that's mainly just because it's sweet and was probably picked at a better time, and it wasn't in the fridge as long. This is only in the fridge for 2 days. I noticed that the fruit starts to not taste as good when it's in a refrigerator for a week and beyond. It starts to kind of deteriorate a little bit. Now, if the fridge was a little warmer, it wouldn't happen. But since our refrigerators are a little too cold for dragon fruit, they start to break down. But anyways, G3, I can't complain. I love all the G series. They're very hard to distinguish. They all taste really, really similar. And in fact, here's a Nicaraguan red, a different variety of Guatemalan, but you can see how almost identical they look. And depending on the light, the skin can look different colors. You just don't want to pick them too soon or too late. So if they're really wiggly, that's kind of the test I like. One of my favorite indicators. Oh man, these are keepers. So if you said I could only grow one, I would grow G3. I also like G3 more because that was Leo Manuel's favorite of the G series. He said G1 could be a little more cold sensitive, and he said G3 tended to bloom a little sooner out of the three. So sadly, I don't have a nice big G2 fruit this season, but I'll do a review on it next season. So there you go. There is G3, a typical Guatemalensis, a Guatemalan, and we grow about 38 different types, and they're all delicious. You can't go wrong with them. If you could only grow one variety, grow these. I prefer them over Sugar Dragon because they're also self-fertile, and to me, they're bigger fruit, and I just like the flavor a little more. So there you go, G3. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care.